Hello everyone, today I'm gonna talk about what I consider to be my biggest language learning problem, which is my being antisocial. So what do I mean by this? Let's just say that during the early years of my primary school education, when it was time for my parents to get my report card, what was always written in the remarks section was that I needed to socialize more with other students. I just don't know why, but until now I find it hard to maintain a decent face-to-face conversation with someone. It's really strange, really weird. It doesn't matter what language I use, Tagalog, English, Spanish. There's usually dead air when I speak with someone, face-to-face. Maybe it's my being shy, I don't know. So I concluded maybe I'm antisocial, really. Sometimes I wake up, I don't like people. Sometimes I wake up hating people, and sometimes I just feel like I'm really an android sent from another planet to obliterate all of you. So it's weird, I know, but I really don't know why. The thing is, give me a pen and a paper or a keyboard or a laptop, and I can compose really long sentences and replies. I can maintain conversation in written form, but in spoken form, I just can't. So that's the problem. And so you're gonna ask why why I am able to speak freely now? Well, it's because technically I'm not speaking directly to any one of you. I'm talking to the camera of my phone. So yes, it's a different thing. It's not live. So what now? I don't know. Maybe this is also the reason why I try to avoid as much as possible any form of social interaction where I have to speak with someone, like for example parties. If I get invited in a party, I go, yes, I sit in a corner, and then I keep stum, and people just in the event people just end up bothered as to why I'm not having a banging time. It's difficult because I end up ruining their evening. And when you're invited to a party, you are meant to enjoy it. I mean, that's the reason. And I just don't. And I end up spreading negativity in the venue. So I've realized for me the way forward is just to decline invitations and make up reasons why I can't go. So it's hard, but what are my plans? I'm trying to change that, but before I discuss that, in the first instance, how is this related to language learning? Let's say for example that a couple of centuries ago there is this monk living in some mountain in Switzerland who wanted to learn Japanese. I think it would have been very hard for him to do so because travel back then was not as sophisticated as travel now. I mean, let's say for example last year I was able to book a Manila-Hong Kong flight for $5. I mean, it's insane. Usually it would take you around minimum $200 to do that, but nowadays travel is very cheap. But back then, of course, it was a different story. I mean, if that monk wanted to go to Japan to learn Japanese, it would have taken him a long time to travel and a lot of money to spend for him to get there. And if not, what were his choices for resources? I mean, I don't think that Japanese tourists in Europe were as abundant back then as they are now. So in short, he is left with what? Documents, maybe rare Japanese documents that he needed to translate from Japanese to his native tongue. I think that was the common way of doing of learning languages back then, by translating the masterpieces from one language to another. But spoken language was not given very much importance, especially for those languages they considered rare. But I don't know. Of course, I'm not sure. This is an assumption. So nowadays, I think language learning is more focused on the oral expression, communication between two people, face to face, immersion, getting to know the locals, because of, yeah, technology. I mean, travel is cheap. If that same monk living in that mountain in Switzerland would be alive now, and he wanted to learn Japanese, it would be very easy for him to book a flight, find cheap promos to go to Japan and learn. But back then it was impossible. So they were kind of limited, or their language learning was kind of limited to the written form. But nowadays, I mean, there's this thing called the internet, which is revolutionizing the way we do things. It's a global community that is fast forming or transforming the way we do things. For example, you can order groceries online, books online, and wait for them to be delivered to your door. I mean, it's making things easier for us, everything more accessible, especially information. So now, maybe 5 years ago or 10 years ago, you wouldn't imagine seeing a YouTube video on your phone. I mean, probably you wouldn't even think that YouTube would be invented. But now, you could watch YouTube anywhere, in your laptop, in your phone, wherever you go, as long as there's Wi-Fi. So it's easy. Access to information is easy, and there's no excuse for you to not learn at all if you really wanted to. But that's the problem. For me, I think I identify or I sympathize with that monk in the example, because my way of learning is really confined in the written form. I love books. I love buying them, collecting them, looking at them, reading them, learning from them. So it's really hard for me to learn a language if I'm not gonna learn it first in written form. So that's why Pangsleur and Michael Thomas don't work on me. Maybe they would if I learned the language first in written form. But if I'm gonna learn it everything from the CD, I probably won't learn anything. So that's my problem, which I think is connected to my being antisocial. Okay, fine, I admit that my language learning methods are old-fashioned, but I am already trying to introduce new ways to learn languages aside from reading books, like downloading your videos from your channels so I could watch them on my phone. I really need practice in listening and speaking skills. So in terms of speaking, maybe we could talk over Skype if we have time. My Skype name is the same as my YouTube name, but I just don't know if it's still active because it's been a while since I used it. Maybe Skype deactivated it, I don't know. So yes, that's it. I'm trying to change my outlook in life as well, because being antisocial is not just a language learning problem. It's also a big problem for my life in general, because the world is full of people. I mean, if you don't socialize with them, it's your loss, because that's the way life goes here. So yes, but progress does not come overnight, and old habits die hard, so I just can't erase language learning to reading books right away. But at least I'm trying to change and introduce new ways. So yes, wish me luck, and thank you for watching my video. I hope you don't have the same problem, because I believe language problems such as the subjunctive in Spanish or prepositions in French are easier dealt with than problems with personality like being antisocial. So I wish you don't have the same problem, because it's a big problem and it's hard to solve. So thank you.